In this video, we're going to discuss and review the 8-inch Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter figure from Mego. Welcome to the Swearwolves Horror Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Brett. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking both that subscribe button as well as that notification bell below. We upload videos on a regular basis in which we review anything and everything horror, from action figures and toys to soundtracks, various collectibles, video games, you name it. And today we're talking about this 8-inch Silence of the Lambs Hannibal Lecter figure from Mego. Now, Mego as a company has been around for quite a while, I believe since like the 1950s. I know they got some popularity, or a lot of popularity, in the 70s with DC and Marvel licenses. And I didn't have any of those figures personally myself, but I've seen pictures of them and I've seen them in, collectors shows and whatnot. But a couple years ago, Mego came out with some new line of figures, kind of revitalizing the brand, and these 8-inch action figures are great. As you can see on the cover here, we have the Silence of the Lambs logo up top with a picture of Hannibal Lecter. It says there's the Mego Corporation logo. 8-inch action figure, 14 points of articulation. This, of course, is the figure behind this bubble right here. And then it says horror at the top. Now, this is kind of bent at the corner here. I really don't care. I'm going to open it up anyway. So let's go ahead and look at the back of the figure. It just says the Silence of the Lambs, 8-inch action figure, 14 points of articulation. This is a brief story of them coming back. Marty Abrams, aka the father of the action figure, has relaunched these figures in response to overwhelming demand. Mego Corp was started by his father David Abrams in 1954 and named by his younger brother Howard, who would say Mego 2. Howard later became head of sales for the company. Mego Corp sold over 20 million of its now standard 8-inch action heroes worldwide, and Mego Corporation is proud to take over that fine heritage today. So there you go. Started in 1954, bringing out the brand again, so very cool. Why don't we go ahead and open up this figure and give it a proper review. All right, I got the figure opened up, and before we get to the figure itself, let's talk about this one little accessory that we got with this. Now, this is just the mask that goes over Hannibal Lecter's mouth so he can't attack people. Of course, if you've seen the movie Silence of the Lambs, which, who hasn't seen the movie Silence of the Lambs? It's one of the most awesomest movies of all time. But they put this mask over Hannibal Lecter's mouth to keep him from basically attacking anybody. I mean, they have him in a straitjacket. He can't use his hands. They have him strapped down to almost like a dolly, and then they put this mask on him, so he really can't do anything. But of course, he does. Pretty cool looking mask here. We'll put it on him in just a second. Now, one thing that I was kind of curious about, there's this plastic band here that does stretch. I don't know if you're supposed to keep that on the mask. I'm assuming so, because it's all tied on. I don't know if it would stay on him if I took this off, but I'm just going to keep the plastic band on when I put it on his head. So we'll see how that works in a second. I'm not really too sure of how to do that, but it's got a lot of excess hanging off the side there. Not a lot of detail in this. It does look like the mask. It's a good representation of it, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of detail in this. This isn't like a really high quality, as far as like detail goes, action figure. This is just kind of a throwback to the 1970s, 1960s Mego figures. And, they got cool licenses and they came out with action figures. What more can you ask for? They're cool nonetheless. I mean, when are we going to get a Hannibal Lecter action figure besides in today's day and age? So let's take a look at this action figure. We'll talk about articulation first. Now, of course, he has a straitjacket on, so that's going to limit some of the articulation. But the head turns from left to right. That's it. Just turns from left to right. I'm not going to move his arms because his arms are in a straitjacket. As you can see, you can take that off. It's Velcroed on in the back, but we'll talk about that in a second. He does have movement in the waist here, swivels. And then he bends at the hips. Then we have a joint at the knee. And then the feet. Whoops. The feet move up and down, and then the leg moves in and out also. So 14 points. I don't know where all 14 points are, but that's the articulation as far as that goes. Like I said, you can probably move his arms. I'm sure it's a standard body for all these action figures, and they just have him in a straitjacket. Let's talk about the detail on this figure. Now, does this look like Anthony Hopkins? I mean, not really. It looks close enough to Hannibal Lecter that I know who it's supposed to be. And with the mask on, I'm sure it's going to look 100% better. But again, these aren't supposed to be highly detailed figures. These aren't like your collector's NECA exclusives or Sideshow collectibles or any place that makes like the high-end, very detailed figures. These are just supposed to be fun little throwbacks. The price point on these are about $13 to $15, I think, depending on where you get them. So they're not that expensive. They just look cool. And if you keep them in the package, I have some that I've kept in the package. They look cool displayed, but I think this is going to look good displayed in my cabinets right here with all the other figures that I have. So just a really neat figure all around. Like I said, the detail isn't that great. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like Anthony Hopkins, but it looks close enough to Hannibal Lecter that you know who it is. The hair is just painted on there. Molded plastic. This is just rubber. As you can see, you can squeeze the head. The straitjacket just looks like, you know, a cloth straitjacket. I mean, it looks like what it's supposed to be. Goes all the way around. Like I said, it Velcros in the back. I'm sure I could take this off if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. Looks like a straitjacket to me. And then, of course, he's got his orange pants on. And then just these molded white shoes right here. The figure does stand on its own pretty good. It doesn't have any peg holes on it, so you're not going to be able to put it on a peg hole stand, but it does stand pretty good. Like, I don't have to do that much to get it to stand. I will probably put it on a stand when it's in my display cabinet, but that's just because I don't want the possibility of it falling over from it getting bumped or the door getting opened or whatever. But as you can see right here, it stands pretty good. Why don't I go ahead and put the mask on him, get him how I'm going to have him displayed in my cabinet, and we'll come back with our final thoughts. All right, I got the figure posed how I'm going to have him displayed in my cases here. And one thing is that the rubber band did come off from that mask, so I don't know if it was supposed to go around. I was able to get it on his head and kind of have it stay there. You can just pluck it off and put it back on easily. So that's probably how it was. I don't know. It would have been nice had there been a little strap around that rubber band. As soon as I tried to put it over his head was too big, so it just popped right off. But other than that, I think the figure looks great for what it is. For the price point, I don't think you can beat it these days. For action figures to come in under $15 is few and far between, especially for these horror licenses. I think it does a good job at displaying at least what it's supposed to be. Does it look exactly like Anthony Hopkins? No. But it gives you this Hannibal Lecter action figure, which you weren't going to get anyway. Probably. I don't think. Who's asking for one besides me and you and other people? So I guess a lot of people are asking for it. But anyway, I think it looks really cool. Not going to go 5 heads on this one only because there are some things as far as the mask goes that I didn't like. Other than that, I think it's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.5 Pamela Voorhees heads for this figure. It'll look good posed with all my other figures, and I just think it's a great addition to the collection. If you have any comments or thoughts about this Hannibal Lecter Mego figure, please go ahead and share them in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, please click that like button. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, click both that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. We are the Swearwolves Horror Podcast, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies, so please check us out by searching for The Swearwolves wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So, for the Swearwolves, I'm Brett. Hi, this is Brett with the Swearwolves. When I'm not editing videos or creating content for YouTube, I just sit here and wait and wait. If you like the video that you just saw, go ahead and click that button right there. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and click that other button right there. I'll wait.